Did you know that over 75% of youth players who dream of being goalkeepers end up switching positions? It's the toughest role in football, no question about that. In today's video, I'm breaking down 5 signs that goalkeeping might not be the right fit for you. Some of them are hard to hear, but trust me, if you stick around till the end, you'll discover the one sign that really matters and why, despite all the challenges, being a goalkeeper is worth every second. Goalkeeping comes with a lot of highs and lows, and you've probably experienced both. You know that feeling when you make an incredible save and all your teammates rush over to congratulate you? Feels amazing, right? But what happens when, just minutes later, you misjudge a cross and the ball ends up in the back of the net? Suddenly all those cheers turn into blame, and guess who's taking the fall? You. And that's how it is being a goalkeeper. 1 minute you're on top of the world, and then, well, things can change fast. And let me tell you, I've been there plenty of times. This season I had back-to-back games where I was voted man of the match. Everyone was talking about it for days. Teammates, fans, even the media. I felt on top of the world. But then, in the very next match, I made a huge mistake, the biggest of my life. And just like that, I went from hero to villain. As a goalkeeper, you need to have thick skin. People will praise you for your big saves, but those same people will also blame you for the goals. You have to be mentally strong enough to take the blame, learn from it, and move on. Because if you can't handle that pressure of being both the good guy and the bad guy, then goalkeeping might not be for you. Alright, pressure is tough enough as it is, but here's another challenge that catches a lot of goalkeepers off guard: patience. Ever feel like you're working on one part of your game, but the progress just isn't there? It's almost like you're stuck. I've been there too. I remember when my distribution was, let's just say it was less than impressive. Early in my career, I was solid on the line, my shot stopping was great, but when it came to my goal kicks, I became known for all the wrong reasons. And trust me, as a young goalkeeper, it wasn't fun seeing my name pop up in the media, not for my amazing saves, but for my terrible distribution. I could have easily thrown in the towel right then and there, but deep down I knew improvement doesn't happen overnight. So what did I do? I got to work. I spent countless hours on my own, kicking the ball against the wall over and over. Was it fun? Not always. Was it repetitive? Absolutely. But here's the thing, after weeks of grinding it out, I started seeing results. My confidence grew, my distribution improved, and before long, no one was criticizing me for my distribution. The truth is, in goalkeeping, as in anything in life, results don't come easy. If you're not putting in the extra hours, especially on your weaknesses, you won't see the results you're after. It takes time and patience. It's not just about training until you get it right. It's about training until you can't get it wrong. So if you think results come without grinding it out, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you are ready to start seeing results, I got something that can help you. I've created a self-training program that's already helped over 100 goalkeepers just like you take their game to the next level. It's packed with everything you need to stay focused, push yourself, and see real results in the fastest way possible. So if you're ready to stop feeling stuck and start improving, check out the link in the description and join us inside our community already today. Now let's shift gears and talk about something even tougher, because working hard is one thing, but what happens when it's not just your effort that's on the line, it's your body? And have you ever hesitated on a corner kick knowing a collision is coming, or held back from diving at full stretch because you didn't want to land awkwardly? Yeah, I get it. We've all been there. We're always putting ourselves in situations most players would avoid, diving headfirst into chaos, leaping for shots knowing you might hit the ground hard, challenging strikers running full speed straight at you. It's all part of the job. And sure, protecting yourself is normal, it's instinct, but if that fear is holding you back, it's gonna show in your game. You can't afford to hesitate. You can't hold back because you're scared of getting hurt. You have to commit fully every single time. Dive in, trust yourself, even when you know you might take a few knocks along the way. Now, I'm not saying you should play recklessly, far from it, but if you want to be be successful in goal, you have to push through that fear. So ask yourself, are you willing to throw yourself into the action, even when there's a real chance of you taking a hit? If not, honestly, goalkeeping might not be for you. All right, let's shift from physical fear into something just as crucial, but maybe not as obvious. Because if you think goalkeeping is all about making saves, you're missing out on one of the biggest responsibilities of the job. And I'll never forget this one game in particular. I started off strong, made a couple of big saves early on, and I thought I had everything under control. But then the game started to slip. My backline was all over the place, players losing shape, out of position. But what did I do? Nothing. I stayed quiet. I figured I'll just wait and deal with it when the shots come in. Big mistake. One through ball split the defense wide open, and just like that, we were down 1-0. And the worst part, it wasn't because I couldn't make the save, it was because I didn't speak up when I should have. As a goalkeeper, you got the best view on the field. You see everything unfold before anyone else does. And if you're not speaking up, if you're not communicating with your backline, you're leaving your team very exposed. But listen, communication isn't just about shouting your lungs out for 90 minutes. It's about timing. It's about being clear and decisive when it matters the most. Sometimes simple calls like man on, turn, or push up make all the difference between winning and losing. And hey, if you're someone who's not used to speaking up, it's okay. You don't need to be the loudest player out there from day one. Start small, practice the basics, and the more you do it, the more natural it will feel. Okay, so before we move on to the most important sign of all, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of these signs? Do you agree? Is there something I missed? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Not only does it support the channel, but it's also awesome to get some feedback and also some goalkeeper love from all of you. All right, so we covered a lot so far, but there's still one more sign missing, and honestly, it's the most important one, because all the pressure, all the hard work, the risks, and the responsibilities we talked about so far, none of that matters if you're missing this one thing. You see, being a goalkeeper isn't just another position on the field. It's like playing a different sport entirely. It's tough, there's no doubt about that. And yeah, sometimes it can feel like absolute madness. But why do some players stick with it while others walk away? Well, it's not just talent, how brave you are, or how much you talk. It's something much deeper. And it all comes down to this one question. Do you love it? I mean, really love it? Because there are going to be days when it's frustrating, when you're standing alone in the rain, repeating the same drills over and over again, and you just can't get it right. But if you love it, that's when everything changes. You'll embrace the pressure, the hard work, the bruises, the long hours. So ask yourself, do you really love being a goalkeeper? Because if you do, you already got the most important trait of all. Now, having that love for goalkeeping is massive, but if you want to take it one step further, then you need to start building the right training habits. And if you want to know what those are, then check out my next video right here. Now, it's time for a hot bath.